you for a year. So good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Stella, and this is a meeting for one-on-one section. Ask us anything. So joining us here is not just I won't be the only one speaking. I have other people that we've invited, part of our team, and even those that are not part of our team who are going to be speaking with us. So if you have any questions at all, you can either type it in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, you can type it on YouTube. We'll try to answer. If you're on Zoom, you can type it on Zoom as well. We'll try to answer too. So if you have any question, you can put it there and we'll get it. If you know that you want to speak, probably because you feel like typing is not really your thing, if you're like us that like to speak rather than type ahead, or people that like calls rather than type, you can also let us know when it's time for speaking. We'll give you the mic and then you can carry on. So today we're going to be talking about moving abroad. We're going to talk about everything you need to know. What's like when you think about moving abroad, what comes to your mind? I had a friend recently, she just asked me, Stella, I want to move abroad. What should I do? And then I got thinking, I was like, okay, what would be the very first thing I'll tell someone if someone asks me, I want to move abroad? And then the first that came to my mind is, what do you want to move as? What is your intention? Are you intending to go abroad to study? Are you intending to go abroad to work? Are you intending to take your family? Are you intending to, when you go abroad, are you intending to stay there, or do you have the idea of coming back? Normally, we know that most countries, whenever they say you should, when they give you opportunity to come over there and study, to them, what is written on the paper is that you go back to your country after. But most of the time, people use that route to stay back, which is legal because you can convert your study visa into a work visa so long you have gotten a work that will give you sponsorship. So when you ask yourself this question, you will not ask yourself, what do I really want to go abroad to do? Because a lot of people, when they go abroad, they then decide to find that, especially those that used to the backyard corner, they become like they don't really know what they are doing anymore because they didn't really have the concept of what am I going abroad to do? How long do I need to stay abroad? Do I intend to stay for all my life? What is my pathway? Now, when you have decided which part you want to study, which part you want to work, which country you want to work, then you will not decide to take the next step. Now, you are also going to ask yourself, okay, there are so many countries I want to go to. I want to go to Canada. I want to go to USA. I want to go to the UK. I want to go to Australia. I want to go to Germany. I want to go to all parts of Europe. I want to go to South Africa. Let's not remove African countries from there. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to China. You said I want to go to all these countries, but I'm one person and I cannot divide myself into different arms. I'll then ask myself, which one do I want to visit? Or which one do I want to live in? We need to differentiate. Now, for you to decide which of the country you want to live in, you will now ask yourself another question, which is, what is the cost of going to these countries? You ask yourself questions like, how is the traveling journey? Which one is faster? Is it going to take 1 year for me to process this one? Am I willing to wait that long for this process? Is it going to take 6 months? And these are the popular questions you need to ask yourself if you want to travel abroad. And so today, these are all we are going to be trashing about different parts. But we are going to focus on 3 major countries. We are going to focus on UK, we are going to focus on Canada, and we are going to focus on Australia, because these 3 countries are, apart from Germany that is starting recent, these are more hotter, especially Canada, where many people want to go to. Even people that don't even understand anything about Canada, all of them want to go to Canada. Why some people want to use UK as their starting stone or their starting step. Some people just said, no, I will stay at home. Many people will decide which they want to. So then we now ask ourselves, if I want to go to, if I want to travel for study, what should I do? If I want to study for work, what should I do? If I want to bring my family, what should I do? So I'm going to be speaking majorly on the work aspect. We have someone that is our guest who is going to be speaking on the study aspects, and then you can ask him all your questions if there's anything you want to know about study aspects. We still have some of our guests that's going to just give you a general knowledge on how you should get prepared for the travel abroad journey. So let me now talk about work. If you want to travel for work, let's talk about Australia. What job opportunities are there? Are Australia taking international recruits? What is the fastest way to travel to Australia? Generally, to travel abroad, study route is the fastest way ever. If you want to go to UK, if you want to go to Canada, if you want to go to Australia within the next 6 to 8 months, study abroad process is the fastest ever you can ever take. But if you want to go through work, it now becomes selective. But if you are in the medical field, most of the time, these countries actually have this flexibility for those in the medical field. If you want to go as a nurse, if you want to go as a doctor, if you want to go as a physiotherapist, a radiographer, they have pathways in which you need to follow. Now, if you want to go as a care assistant or a care worker, which is the most popular one that is going on these days, all countries now are opening for care assistants. Canada has their pathway for care assistants. The USA has their pathway for care assistants. For you to go to the USA as a care assistant, there are agencies that you will follow to go to US as a care assistant. And they have what they call themselves another name. They have CRNA, and they have LPNA, they have the RNA, and the rest of them. They know what they call themselves. If you want to go to UK as a care assistant, they have their own pathway. As of this week, or I think last week, I did a video that's called Moving to Canada as a Care Assistant. If you haven't watched that video, you should go to our YouTube called Expressment Global Service and the Express channel, where we talk about traveling, moving abroad, and everything. So then, some people kept asking me a popular question, which I'm going to use this opportunity to answer, is what is the cost of this evaluation fee? Now, I told you guys on the video section that if you want to travel to Australia using the care assistance route, that there are two pathways you can follow. It's either you are going as a disability person or you are going as a personal elder assistant. You are taking care of the elderly. So it's either you are taking care of those that are disabled or you are taking care of those that are elderly. Now, it depends on which one you are going for. If you are going for the one that is elderly, you will be taking your document for an ANMAC assessment. If you are going for those that is disability, you'll be taking your document for what? An aqua assessment. Now, the cost of this assessment varies between 300 to 500 or 550 Australian dollars. Now, what you should do is to go and do a calculation and ask yourself, do you have that amount of money? Most of the time, most people want people to feed them. But if you are giving a tip of, okay, this is what is happening, people are doing this. How about you just go and say, okay, let me check online. Let me check or browse the website. It was given to you, the website you should go to. Why don't I check and see how much is this cost so that I will know if I'm financially capable of this cost now, or if I will be capable of it in the nearest future, or how do I plan to get it ready? And the good thing about this pathway is that you are not required to do any other thing apart from these assessment skills and give them to assess it. After assessing it, then they will not see if you are fit for the job, and then you apply for the jobs. We also listed websites that you should go there to apply for jobs. So these are different pathways you can use to travel. Now, if you are a nurse and you want to travel to Australia, how do you travel to Australia? You still have the ANMAC, the Australian Nursing and Midwifery Association. That is their body. You still go there and do your nursing evaluation. I think as of 3 or 4 months ago, I helped a man do his evaluation for ANMAC. and then it was under processing. I couldn't get like what happened at the end, but I believe that now we should be in Australia or something because they did the evaluation and it passes evaluation. So it's for you to get your evaluation sorted as soon as possible. Go there. Most of these websites have a step-by-step process on how you can use their registration body, their assessment body for you to come to their country. Australia has a pathway for nurses, but most of the time they require that you are a BSc nurse. Someone will ask me now that what of those that are not BSc nurse? They said they want people that are BSc nurses. So what should you do? You ask yourself, is there any other way you can go in as what? As a care assistant and then upgrade to I think it's just an adaptation you will do. Upgrade to the BSc nurse and then you work as a nurse, which you are. It's that straightforward. Now, some will ask me, does Australia take other sort of that, not the medical field? Yes, they do. Australia take people that are into tech. And if you go on YouTube and check moving to Australia as a tech person, you will see so many videos that has been done for them and where you should go and apply for jobs. So many, it's there. So you can move to Australia as a tech person. You go under their skilled worker, Australia, pathway, and they have different number or letter they used to call their Australia visas pathway. So you go there and you apply for the job. Once you've applied for the job, you can then decide to go ahead to apply for their visa scheme. Now that's how Australia works. But mind you, I said the fastest way to go to Australia still remains the study visa if you're interested in going to Australia. Now, let's get to Canada. If you want to go to Canada, how do you get to Canada? You cannot just sit down one day and say, I want to go to Canada. It doesn't work that way. You have to ask yourself, which province am I interested in? What is my profession? Does my profession have a pathway? Does my work have a pathway? We have this, my God, Saskatchewan Provincial Nominee Program. Now, the Saskatchewan Provincial Nominee Program, that particular province accepts people that if you're a plumber, if you're a cook, if you're a hairmaker, if you're a trader, all you just need to do is to package your documents well. All those things that you were doing when you were small, that you will help your cousin and sew her clothes. You will help your other family member. Maybe they will collect five naira, or they will collect 1,000 naira or something. Or you can just create like an invoice for all those dates. If you get enough evidence and then you register with the body, you ask yourself, you ask people, is there any body in Nigeria? Yes, there's a body for all this trade union. You register with a trade union body. You get those documents all together, an invoice of when somebody paid you money into your account for the work that you have done, a picture of the work that you have done. Maybe you have the gown you have sewn and everything, a picture, a certificate of, even if you lent under your mom or your family member. These days, we are into tech. Sorry about that. We're into digital stuff these days. You can as well, if it's your family member, you can tell if they don't even know how to create a certificate for you. You can simply go to a cyber cafe for them to create a certificate for you. It is legit. Why? Because you have actually undergone the training and you are not lying that you underwent that training. It was true. You went through the training and that's what you are. You understand? And then you also have other if you have someone that even if they gave you a certificate, don't take all those certificates as anything that is not meaningful. Gather all of them. Those are what we call evidence. Evidence that you are what you say you are. The tiniest thing that we do or the tiniest skills that we have is something that people are using to make block out of the country. And we should not take all those skills as something that is not meaningful. It is meaningful. It is very, very meaningful. If it's hair you are making, it's very meaningful. If it's electrical work you are doing, hot cake. If it's carpentry work you are doing, over hot cake. If it's plumbing work you are doing, it's also a hot cake, because these are skills that many people are no longer interested in doing, and it's what we need for our daily life. And because it's what we need for our daily life, those in the developer understand this and then they begin to charge people for it. And because there's also shortage of people, they will need international people to come in and support them. And that makes it what that is you and I, that is international. We come down, we help them, and also we charge according to their fee. Life goes on. So these are ways. So for Canada, Canada have different provinces. We have the Nova Scotia province, we have the Saskatchewan province, we have the Brunswick province. I'm going to be doing another video, which is going to be in the next 2 to 3 days, where there's massive recruitment to Brunswick. Regardless of your profession, massive recruitment, and it's ongoing this year, ending of this year, massive regardless of your profession. So if you don't know anything, if you are not getting anything from this live section today, is the fact that you should get ready for that video, because there's massive equipment. So for you to position yourself, how do I get ready? If you are someone that wants to go to Canada, you need to also tell yourself, don't I think that I should open an express entry account? Because even if you are not ready, just open an express entry account and submit what you have, and begin to submit them step by step, submit them step by step, submit them step by step. It's not one day they used to use to travel out. If you want to travel out, it's small, 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 small. Before you know it, you will get there and then you will travel out. So that's for Brunswick. There are other provinces in Canada. We have Alberta. Alberta, if you're a nurse, Alberta have different pathway for nurses. They have the pilot program for nurses, and then they have the normal one. And that pilot program, from what I have been researching, they even grant you jobs. So while we are killing ourselves about Nova Scotia this, Nova Scotia that, Nova Scotia this, there is another province that is even granting you jobs. So you don't even need to go back and say you want to start searching for a job. This province will grant you the job during your registration process. You understand? So these are availabilities that are there, but people don't know because probably research hasn't been done or they haven't searched. But if you have interest in going to Canada, you need to then ask yourself, which province am I interested in? If you don't know anything about Canadian province, go to Canadian government websites. When you get there, you start from the first province. You can browse different provinces in Canada, opportunity. You start from there. The first one, you can say, I will spend 1 week focusing only on Nova Scotia province to see if there is anything at all that looks like things that resemble me. And that was how a lady on YouTube I watched, that was how she relocated to Canada as a tailor. Because so many times people, she has even paid the immigration lawyer, paid this, paid that, paid this, paid that, paid this. Nothing is even working for her. She has tried Canada this, and then she said, in fact, let me go and do this by myself. She started searching one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And that was how she found out that there was actually a pathway at that moment that she was searching that was recruiting for tailors. And that was how she got into Canada. Straight up. Before you know it, she got permanent residency. And that's what people are killing themselves for. Oh, and then some people have paid, people have frauded them, people have taken their money away, and they're even tired and said, maybe this abroad thing is not for me. Maybe God have said I should not go abroad. Yes, your destiny might not be abroad, but what if you go abroad to get that experience and use the idea that you get abroad to come down to Nigeria to work for you? Uber is not the idea of a Nigerian person. Uber is someone that the person it's abroad, and then they brought the idea to come back to work in Nigeria. Our popular Jumia in Nigeria, the idea was gotten from like Amazon, Fiverr that was abroad. And it's someone that went abroad that came back to say, okay, I can implement the knowledge I observe abroad onto Nigeria, and then they started working for them. If the person has not gone abroad to have that experience, how will the person know? How will the person be exposed? They say the extent to which you reach is the knowledge you have. At times, you just need to change your location for you to expand your knowledge. And then from there, you'll be able to have like, this is what will work for me, this is what will not work for me. So you guys need to know which one and which path you need to follow. Now that's so we have Abata, like I was saying, Abata has so many opportunities for people. So most of the time, they might need you to have like a bachelor's degree, especially because it's one of the province that is, I'll call it the big people province. It's not like the rural area kind of provinces, but still, there are opportunities for people there in Abata. So we can try all these provinces. We even have British Columbia. We all know about British Columbia. Then when we are also talking about which of the provinces I want to go to, we'll now also ask ourselves, what is the cost of living in these provinces? Do I think that I should go to a very expensive place? Or do I think that I should go to a place that is cheaper? Now, if our mindset is not like, okay, let me just go first, let me go. Maybe later I will not decide if I want to stay in that place or if I want to go to another place. That one is still fine. It's still okay. Because the idea first is let me first travel out and then all these other questions can come in. But if you can answer all these questions and there's opportunity in all these other provinces that are not too expensive, why don't I just go there rather than moving from pillar to post? Because relocation is not the sweetest thing to do so easily. Now, let's talk about the UK. Moving to UK. Yes, UK is the most popular place to go to at the moment. I feel like UK is like the twin, it's the capital of Nigeria. If you are joining me from Nigeria, if you are joining me from other countries, well, UK is really, really close to Nigeria. I will not say very good, but almost so many Nigerians now are going to the UK because the pathway is easier. Or will I say yes? It's kind of if you are it's either you are going as a student, you are going as work, and UK recently have updated their what are they calling it? Shortage occupation lists. So we have drivers there. But the truth is some of this shortage occupation lists, yes, there's driving there, yes, there's what are they calling some other professions there. But the question is, are they going to come and take someone that is driving in Nigeria? Will they take that person? Because we are driving right hand side, I'll be left hand side. They are driving right hand side. Will they be willing to take that person down to come and work there? That's the question we should be asking. Or is there any other pathway in the UK that we can follow? And yes, there is. They have different visas routes if you want to come to the UK. We have the normal skilled worker visa route. That route is if you are a worker, you want to come in as a radiographer, you want to come in as a tech person. And yes, tech people are coming to the UK, and it's true. They are. I know people that have come in as a tech person. So yes, tech comes to the UK. Do you want to come in as a nurse? Do you want to come in as a doctor? Do you want to come in as a healthcare assistant? Now, that's where the skilled worker visa comes in and the healthcare worker visa come in. Now we have another visa, and that's the study visa. That's another one. I'm not going to talk about it. Another person is going to talk about it. Then the next thing we have is, do you want to come in with the global talent visa? Now, the beautiful thing about the global talent visa is that when you come, you have flexibility. That flexibility is very beautiful. Like you are not attached to one employer. And so you come in with the flexibility is really so good. And then if your employer is doing you something bad, you can change to somebody that is better. And with that global talent visa, it's for those that are into fields like fashion designing, those that are into fields like camera, photography, those that are into research, those that are into some science aspect of it. Now that's global talent visa. Why don't you go there and then search what I'm skilled in, what my profession is? Does it align with this particular visa pathway? If it does, how can I get all my documents ready? And you know the thing about all these documents, to tell you the truth, when you want to travel abroad, the documents are almost similar. Yes, the first document you need to use when you want to travel abroad is an international passport. In all the country that you are ever going to be in, you will always need your international passport if you want to travel abroad. And that's true. Number two document you need if you want to travel abroad to apply for your visa is if you're a professional person, or if your field is something that needs registration, you will need proof that you are really who you say you are. And there's no country, if you are going through work, that will not ask you to submit that proof. So it's the same thing in almost all the countries. The third thing you will need is you might need to prove if you can speak their language or not. Some people will tell you you don't need their language requirements. If you don't need to prove that, if you are not proving that you can speak their language, they might tell you to bring proof that there's a certificate that shows that you can actually speak their language. At times they'll tell you to bring a letter from your employer, or at times they'll tell you to bring a letter from and maybe as like UK now, they have something that is called the ENIC. They call it Statement of Comparability or Narrate Proof of English. Whereby you bring a proof that yes, you've been trained in English and you can speak English, and then you will show it to them, or you submit it on your visa application, and then they will allow you come to the UK with that one. Even with Canada, so you need to prove that you can speak English. So you can use, and the IELTS, the highest I've seen so far is 6. It's not so high. So you can use it to prove that, yes, you can actually speak English. That's for some provinces in Canada. Or if you don't even ask you to bring proof from your employer that, yes, you have been working for 1 year, you have been working for 2 years in English, and you can speak English, and that will serve as your proof of English. Number 4 document you will need if you want to travel abroad is your address, proof of address, to show where you are. If it's really where you say you are. If you say you are living in Lagos and that's your location, we need proof. Are you paying house bill? Are you paying NEPA bill? Do you have bank proof of like your bank statement? And that's what they want to see. There is no country that does not want to see. They want to be sure that this you are staying where you say you are. You have a valid document. You have been a responsible citizen. Another document when you want to travel abroad that they will need is your proof of funds. There's no country that will not want a proof of fund. Why? You cannot come to their country and then you will not have where to feed for yourself, and you will not be going for asylum, seeking for asylum. Nobody in this life wants a liability. Even we as individuals, we don't want liabilities in our life. So why should we now think that a country that is thinking about the development of their country will want a liability in their country? So you will need proof of fund. Now, how much that proof of fund is now what you will need to go and find out. You will go to their government website. If it's UK, it's gov.uk. If it's Canada, I can't remember the full name. But it's CA or gov.ca, something like that for Canada. But if you check, it's there, the official Canada website. Then Australia still have their own. You go there, you have a look at the website and search in that government website. Research, how much do I need for proof of fund for me to go in and stay in this particular period of time? That's the question you ask yourself. Now, remember, proof of fund also varies. If you're someone that is going as a visitor and you are telling them, I'm only going to visit for like 3 weeks, I'm only going to stay in your country for like 6 weeks, the amount of proof of fund you will need is going to be different from someone that is telling them, I want to stay for 6 months. If you are telling them, I want to stay for 6 weeks, or for 1 month, or for 3 months, or for 2 months, your proof of fund will be smaller compared to someone that tell them don't go and stay for 6 months. And you know what? If you tell them you want to stay for 6 weeks, or for 3 weeks, or for 3 months, it does not mean that when it's that 3 months, that's only what they will give you. They will still give you that 6 months for you to stay. That's the highest. So you can use your wisdom and know what to do in that case. So that's if you are going as a visitor anyway, for those that want to switch with visitor visa. But you just need to go to the government website and make it your friend to ask yourself, okay, what is the proof of fund I need to show for me to come in? Now, another document you will need to show is, are you going with your family? I don't encourage people to go with their family initially, because you need to go and see. You will not, they say you don't use your 2 feet to test the depth of the ocean. You cannot carry all your family at once to go and taste how a country is. You yourself supposed to go first, taste how the country is, and within 2 or 3 months, then you bring your family down. So when you now ask yourself, okay, do I want to take my family? If I want to take my family, then I'll now need proof. How do I prove that my daughter is really my daughter? Your birth certificate. How do I prove that my wife is really my wife? My marriage certificate. How do I prove that my girlfriend is really my girlfriend? do you guys sign partnership? One, do you have proof for up to 2 years? Recently, UK wants proof for up to 2 years that you have been living together for that long. Do you have proof that you guys have been paying your bills? Because most married people pay their bills together. The two of you have proof that your identity or your place of residence is the same thing. So these are where you prove that, yes, this is where I'm staying and this is what I want to go and do. So these are the lease documents, and these documents that we have stated is the same thing everywhere. If your police report is police report. They want to say that, yes, you're a good person. Your medical reports to show that how is your health. Is this person someone that is going to fall sick in the next few days? Like, so we'll know how this person have any disease that is going to come and bring in this, because there was COVID-19 of recent, right? So is it something that will cause an epidemic disease or an endemic disease in their country? Or is it something that it's they are fine, or even if they have an underlying ailment, it's not something, it's a chronic ailment, so it's not a big deal. The person has had it for a very, very long time. So the person have been managing with their life and it's fine. So there's nothing like discrimination against any chronic illness or anything. Chronic illness means that you've had it for a long time. Diabetes, hypertension, renal disease, all those diseases are something you've had for a long time. So no one can come and say they want to discriminate against you. Even HIV, why should they discriminate against you with HIV? HIV is common everywhere in the world. So these are things that you will need to access it. Now, once you've gotten all those documents and you've decided, okay, I'm going to, let's say for Canada, I'm going to Canada now, and I've passed my registration process, or my work doesn't need any registration process. I've done my assessments to tell them to compare my skills and tell them that this my skill is equivalent to the skill of your country. I've done that, finished. Now the next step will not be, how do I get jobs? If I need jobs to come to their country, how do I get jobs? What are the websites to get jobs? Just today, I was scrolling through LinkedIn, and because I've been on Facebook, been on LinkedIn, and so many social media handles, trying to find out where can people find job for Nova Scotia. Because of recent, people are doing the application process for Nova Scotia. And yes, our company helps you to do the application process. We help you to pay for your CRC process. We help you to do your CRC application as well. So if you want us to help you do that, we'll help you do that. People have finished the application process, and Nova Scotia said you can go ahead now. You don't need to wait for us. You can go ahead with your CRC check. You can go ahead with your give your documents, your nursing assessment evaluation check. You can go ahead and do that. Now you've done all that. Nova Scotia have given you temporary license that you are going to renew for 4 months. Every 4 months you'll be renewing it, because they have the idea that within a year you should have passed your NCLEX, right? But within a year you should have got to Canada. People are now saying that Nova Scotia is eating their money. They have done the registration finish. There's nobody that is taking them for job. All the job they have been applying for have been saying they don't take international people. They only take people that are sorry about that. They don't take international people. They only take people that are in Nova Scotia already. Now, and then nobody's taking them for jobs. But today I was researching on LinkedIn and I saw job availability for Nova Scotia. They stated clearly there that they are recruiting those that have temporary license pin. And that's that 4 months thing that we're talking about. They are recruiting for critical care. They are recruiting for accident and emergency. They are recruiting for those in medicine and surgery. A company has advertised. Now, those people that are the sharp ones, who are on LinkedIn, who are on all the social media pages, would have gone there, seen this job opening, call. Did you hear me? I said call. Number one, call, email them, and also apply on the website. I did not say they will just apply on the website. I said they will what? Call, email them, and also apply on the website, covering, leaving no stones unturned, which is very important because this is something that doesn't happen all the time because the vacancy is not there like that, and that's the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything here that the vacancy is there. Oh, no, it's not that common. The vacancy is not there like that. Because yes, there is vacancy, but not all of them are giving visa sponsorship. But the ones that are giving visa sponsorship now, you ensure that you call them, you email them, you ensure your CV. In fact, that one is the most important thing at this moment. Your CV is so classic. Now, if you want to do a CV, we help you to do CV as well. But you ensure that your CV is that classic. It's international standard. Apart from it being international standard, it covers your experience. Some of us, we do voluntary work. Do you know that voluntary work counts? Yes, voluntary work counts. Add it to your CV. I did this in my reason. I helped them to do this. I helped them to do that. I add it, make that CV robust. Let people see what you have done. Let them feel you. Let them have a feel of this person is really who he say he is. Now, you ensure that you have done that. Okay, ensure your CV carries. Now, if you've done any educational training, whether it is a 1-day seminar, 2-day seminar, in the UK, if you do 1-day seminar, they will give you certificates. And that certificate is what you will even use to renew your license when you want to go and renew your license, because it covers the hours that you did. Now, if you've done any certificate, whether online or not online, you package it there. There's some unnecessary, you don't need to put that you are married or you are, in fact, let them not know that you are even a female or a male. You don't need to put that or your age, because at times people will be like, oh, I only want someone that is young, I don't want someone that is old. But when you don't put that and they don't even know, they will shortlist you for interview, and then you will not go to interview prepared to go and sell yourself, prepared to go and tell them that, see, it's either you take me or you take me. There's no other way about it. So you decide to go through that way so that it's going to be able to work for you. You understand? So these are things that we really, really need to look at. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So now, when you ensure that you've done all this, then you've looked at the website and say, okay, which website we have? When we say apply to Indeed, everybody will be like, Indeed, oh, Indeed again. Yes, Indeed works. People get jobs there. It does work. It not depends on how you prepare. I know at times it also depends a lot, but then you also need to know, how does the algorithm work? You look at the job description. Is there a way I can be? First step, I'm highlighting this particular skill. Second step, I'm highlighting this particular skill. Is there a cover letter they want me to read? How do I ensure that each paragraph covers each skill that they want in that particular person? So that when the algorithm is selecting someone through looking at their CV automated, it will pick that thing. It will pick the words. Even if it's to mention the words that they want there 1 or 2 times, they can now use synonyms to change it so that it's not because you're repeating words all the time. It will pick it in your CV and then you'll be covered. So when you've now looked, so Indeed, yes, Indeed works. Indeed works. We said you should go to Canada have their own government website as well, that you go there to apply. Australia have their own websites that you go there to apply, their own government website. And also, when you want to apply for Australia job, if you change it you need to change the location on Indeed to Australia so that you know that you're applying for Australia jobs. They also have recruitment agencies. How do you get recruitment agencies? 1, LinkedIn. Number 2, Facebook. Yes, many people say Facebook are now old. No, Facebook. Number 3, TikTok. TikTok. It's there. So when you are searching, and you know what's about TikTok? About TikTok is that when you search for all these things on TikTok, you will see people's comments under the video that person posts. So people will be like, if you see people making comments like, "Oh, you people are scammers. People are scammers," that's a no-go area. But when you now see people comment like, "How do I know?" And then you also check the person previous videos in the person section, check the person previous videos to know if this person is legit or this person is not legit. then you'll not be able to sieve. Then you now also go ahead to check the person's company online and check, does it match? Is it similar? Check the person other social media handle. How many followers do they have? How active are they? How active do they post? Then you'll be able to know, is this person scam or is this person not scam? Okay. Now, another thing you also need to look at when you are looking at this Telegram. There's so many groups on Telegram, so many groups on Telegram, so many groups on Telegram. Before I forget, you also need to check like UK have what they call a sponsorship list. Now, that sponsorship list, it's only those people on that sponsorship list that can grant you a work that you can use to come to the UK. They've recently updated it and added more people, more companies on the website. It's only that those name people on that list that can grant you a company. If their name is not there, forget it. Just forget it. That job opening is rubbish. Don't just even follow it. So there is a list on, if you go to UK government website, go.uk and search for list of sponsored list of sponsored companies. The moment you open that list, you search on it's going to open on the spreadsheet for you. You then search for that particular company that's giving you that job. You search for it, or the company you're interested. Is it there? You check the location. Is it there? If it's there, fine, go ahead to apply. If it's not there, just leave them and go ahead and look for another person. I know it's not easy, but it's what you have to do if you really want to move abroad. Okay. Now, that is for that one. Now, also, I've talked about your CV, I've talked about your interview. Yes, your interview preparation. When you have submitted your CV and then they've decided to take you for jobs, they've accepted you. The next thing you now need to ask yourself is, how do I prepare for an interview? Somebody will say, they'll ask you, tell me about yourself. You cannot even, maybe you graduated with first class degree, or you did one massive important, or you even did outreach, and you cannot even say it. Please mute your mic, oh.
Yes, Thomas.
Your mic, please mute your mic, oh. So you cannot even say that this was what you did, this was what you did not do. Some people will just say, tell me about yourself. They'll just be like, my name is this, I graduated from this. If there's any other thing that you want me to tell you during the course of my interview, I will let you know in the process. What? When they are telling you to sell yourself, that's what you are telling them. What if they don't ask you about all those things? You just let it go like that. Ha. No, you don't do that. You need to sell. If they tell you, if I'm going to give you $1 billion, only if you can prove to me that you are worth it. That is the mindset that should be in your mind. How do I prove today that I'm even better than even that position? How do I prove it? I mean, you don't need to be cheeky, or you don't need to be insulting, but you need to be bold enough to say, this is who I am, this is what I am. I have studied here. I have done this course. I have interest in further, because every company loves people that have interest in research. I have interest in research and I have proved this by doing that. There's nothing for you to say, I am confident, I am a good team player, I am this, but you're not giving an example. So what's the difference between what you wrote on a paper and what you are telling me? There's no difference. So what's the point of the interview? I can accept read the paper and be like, okay. But if you are telling me, oh, I'm a good team player, when I was working in this, you give an example how you work with different personnel, how you guys were involved in research, how you guys developed this. Oh, I'm someone that is that have interest in further development, how I've online. At times I used to go and google some research. I've done some research work, or I keep reading continuously every day, so as to improve on my knowledge, improve. That is, you're giving an example. I'm someone that is very attentive to details. This was what I did during this period. I'm someone that is innovative. This was how I proved I was innovative. You are making them know who you are, because you need to sell yourself. Do you understand? You need to really sell yourself in terms when it comes to when it comes to interview preparation, you don't need to just give them anything. And then you also need to know about the company. You cannot come to an interview and you don't know anything about that company. It is so wrong. It is so wrong. You need to know about the company. You need to know about the job role. You need to know about if the company has values and motto that they are operating on that year. You need to know about that. You need to know about the job role that you want to go and work for. And when you know about this, then you prove it to them, you sell yourself, and then you'll be able to get what you intend to get. Now, why I'm just going to quickly round up. So the person that's going to talk about study visa is going to talk, and then we'll go about with the questions. So once you're able to sell yourself on your interview, then you can then decide to, once you've gotten the job, you make a decision if you're coming with your family or if you're not coming with your family. And then you get yourself into the country that you're interested in, then that'll be fine. So now, how do you travel if you are going for study? So I don't know if Mr. Monday is here with us, and if he's here, he can take up the mic from me. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you.
Okay. Okay. I will talk about UK, US, and Canada because I'm the boss. But I don't know if everybody can hear me. Stella, can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, now. Well, okay, let's talk about studying abroad. Start with UK, then we'll move to Canada, then we'll move to US. So I'll just
Yeah, a
so
summary so that we can take their questions too. Thank you, sir.
I can't hear that. You said what?
I mean, you said, should you talk about, say, yes, you can talk about it like in a general term. So when they ask questions, we can go a bit specific.
Okay. Let me just speak about it. So, talking about UK, moving to UK is a very good step. But before you move to UK, you need to like ask yourself, what kind of course can I do there? Why am I going there? After reading this particular course, can I work with this course? Those are the kind of questions you want to say before you, because UK is a very big place. There's job opportunity, yes, but the course you study and that course make you give you a sponsorship visa that will make you stay back in the UK or something like that. So that's what you ask yourself before going to UK. And secondly, you check for the school. You check the school website and check for the amount. If this particular school I'm going, can I be able to pay their school and their deposits and then also thirdly check for the particular states you are going to. Like if you are going to Scotland, check for Scotland, check for job opportunity. After study, can I really get a job in a particular place I'm going to? How does the place actually look? So those are the things, those are the common things you check. And well, I'll tell you how you go ahead to apply for your. So if you want to apply for it, so you have to like. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but your network is breaking once in a while.
Okay, let me just talk about okay. Okay, like I said, so you ask yourself, am I really going to this after studying this course? Can I work with this course? Because many people in Nigeria now, they'll just go and meet an agent because I want to travel, I want to Japan. So the agent will just pick any course, like now just picking international business for them. Or because all they just know, they just want to get admission. After getting the admission, just do their visa and get to you. So after getting to you, you finish this international business course, fine, yeah, let's say master. You are done with the master program. So what can you do with that particular? So that's why we express we are here for you. Anytime, anything you need, any course, like if you have a particular course of study that you want to go to UK to study, you just come to our day. Tell us, okay, I want to study, Mr. Monday, I want to study business study, or I want to study international business, or I want to study Christian religious study. we are going to tell you if this particular course you are going to study will be an advantage for you when you get there. And also, we are going to help you look for a course that you can do after study. You can stay back, you can get the job. That's why we are here. So let's talk about Canada. Canada, one thing about Canada, after you graduated, like for instance, you read, okay, let me finish with UK. Let me say this about UK before moving to Canada. UK is one country, like, if you study banking and finance, I decided to apply for nursing, and you have the money, they'll give you an all UK is after it's your money. If you even study food and nutrition, that you are applying for international business, they will give it to you. Because they are after your money. They're after your money. That's what they're just after. But it's for you to like think, okay, after studying this course, can I go? So okay, let me go to Canada. One thing about Canada, one thing I love about Canada is that you cannot study international business, banking and finance in the university and go and study international business. Even if the school gives you admission, the visa process will deny you. They'll deny you. They want your study to be tally. Like if you study international business, so if you study banking and finance, you should be going to Canada to study something that is similar to what you study in. You cannot just tell them that I'm going there to study something else. They will deny you your visa. So that's our Canada. So that is why we are still here. We are going to put you through the process of you picking a course. After picking a course, so that you can get your visa without any issue at all. So for Canada and UK, yes, you can move to SPAS. You can go there with your SPAS. If you are going there, definitely you can go with your SPAS. For UK, I think everybody knows about it. By January, everything will stop. You can't go with your spouse again. You can't go for spouse again, except you are going there for a higher program like PhD. So that's for UK. Okay, let me talk about US. For US, the thing is that you cannot go with your spouse. That's the truth. You cannot go with your spouse. But if you go to US, according to them, you cannot work and study. That's US policy. You cannot work and study at the same time. They get the law. But the thing is that their system is flexible. They are being constrained. When you get there, there's a way you maneuver. You can easily work and be studying without them knowing about it. So that's one thing about US. So thank you. If you have any question, please kindly drop it. I will reply or I will answer. I will put my mic and talk. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Monday. So if you guys have any question, please ask your questions now so that you can unmute your mic. Let me see if I've allowed people to unmute. You can unmute your mic and you can speak. Let me see if I've unmuted for people to speak. Ask us, no. Somebody asked a question on what's the name on this thing. Is Nova Scotia a good one? Yes, Nova Scotia is a good one. It's not bad. The only problem with Nova Scotia that I have a problem with, and a lot of people, because I've been on groups, like that's one thing I always tell people, you need to join groups, join groups. I've been on group, people are saying that they've applied for Nova Scotia and this, that, they're not getting jobs. And then Nova Scotia is something that is a new something. So they are just starting it. So a lot of things are still vague. It's not as clear as if you want to go to Alberta, if you want to go to Brunswick, if you want to go to what's the name, British Columbia, all these other places. It's something they have done. They started for quite a while earlier than Nova Scotia. And so Nova Scotia is still a very new thing and a very small province. So it's not, that's why their system is looking like it's so challenging. But mind you, they are the one that said that international people can come in. So it means that they are putting strategies. It might not be like, at least you positioned yourself. So what if they now bring in a provincial nominee program or all this quickly recruitment? Do you understand? for this quick recruitment for all these other places. You've already positioned yourself where you have a temporary license already. You're already positioned well in this kind of thing. So you can quickly take advantage of it. The only problem somebody asks again there is that doesn't mean that we have to renew our license every 4 months. Yes, you have to. It's stated there even before you go for the Nova Scotia program. It's stated there on their website that you will renew your license every 4 months for the first 1 year until you pass your NCLEX. And that was what they said. And that's why they asked you a question. I believe many people saw that thing. They asked you in your application, do you want your license to be effective on the very first day you get it registered? Some people click yes. So when you click yes, it means that your 4 months probably are still counting. That's what I interpret that question as. But many people do not really see that thing and they're like, let's just hurry, let's just apply. The moving train has started. Boom, boom. At times, you just need to take a step back, take a chill pill, and decide to say, okay. But it doesn't mean that it's not a good process. It is. People are using it. So yes, it is. So what are other questions that are there? Let's see. There's so many questions now. I can't even see the question again.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me, Stella.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you so much. While you are trying to go through some of the questions that has been asked, I think I have a couple of questions here that I was able to get from the community generally. So I will try and do a rundown and try my best to see how many I can answer. So by the way, my name is Otaigbe His, and I'm honored to be on the Express channel platform today. I most sincerely appreciate Stella for all the quality information she's been dishing out to the house. I'm quite confident that those information have been very, very pivotal to your growth thus far. And I'm quite sure that going forward, it will keep helping you as an individual. So keep following the channel. If it's your first time of knowing about the Express channel, this is the channel where we discuss about relocation matters. If there's a trend and before it goes public or viral, you are sure to get it here first. So click on the subscribe button now. Subscribe to the channel. It's actually for your own good because if the audio doesn't serve you, it can serve your family member, it can serve your loved ones, it can serve your relative. So generally, we want to see as many as possible that we can impact and positively help their journey in our little ways so that few years from now, let's say 10 years, 15 years, you should be able to reflect back and say, thank God who led me to this platform that really transformed my life. We also want to sincerely appreciate the person of Mr. Monday, who have taken time to break down the master's pathway for us. To some persons, when they say, I'm going for master's, they just run ahead and say, let me apply for school. It's not just enough to apply. It is always reasonable for you to think ahead. What happened after? What if you have completed this program? How do you get to use your program to work? How can you now start doing healthcare assistant work forever when you study business admin? You are going to a course to go and study philosophy. Now begin to ask yourself, how are they going to use philosophy to work after you have completed the program? So those are some of the questions you should be asking yourself, and you need expert hands to be able to get those answers promptly. So that's why there's a platform like Express Travel Abroad group. We help you to make the right decision when it comes to relocating abroad. We are here, so we see how it is. We'll be able to tell you that this course you are going for is not lucrative. This course you are going for is going to sell well. Doing data analysis will help you. Doing this or doing that will not help you. So if you are able to get those expert advice, it kind of give your relocation journey a huge boost. So that's basically it on that. I'm quite confident that the community are already aware that currently we are trying to help as many professionals as possible wherever, which country you are in, especially those in Africa, from Ghana to Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and so on and so forth. If you happen to say you have successfully gotten the opportunity to study abroad, and maybe because of one or two restrictions, or because of currency devaluation, or because of lack of funds, you are unable to process your journey. We are coming in as a platform that these persons that have done the needful, they have applied for a job, passed their relevant exams, and some have even gotten visa, but they are looking for funds to process and complete their relocation. We can come in as a platform and provide you that loan that you need. We are not going to be asking you for collateral like banks usually do. We are trying to help as many persons as possible that is within our reach. And this is not possible by our doing alone. The community has been helpful. So many persons that have passed through our platform and then they relocated abroad came together and say, what way can we give back to the community? They will gather their funds. We will use this fund to help the community, but it will come at a rate. So the thing is, if the money is given to you, no matter the currency the fund was granted to you to process your journey, you will have to pay back in pounds. So if you get the money in dollars, if you get the money in naira or sterling or Ghana CD, whichever currency you get it from, but when you are paying back, you will pay back in pounds. Why is that? The reason is simple. Because of the currency devaluation, we don't want a situation whereby our community are contributing to help people back home. And at the end, when those people now relocate abroad, the currency that they have actually no doubt has now got devalued. Take for instance, you will notice very well that recently, Naira, for instance, has been on a decline. It has been on a free fall. So if by assumption, those loans were granted in Naira, it means those community members that have done this will have been a huge loss. But we thought about this, we were able to put this in place. And thankfully, the community has really been very, very helpful. People have been taking advantage of the express swift loan services. And to God be the glory. We are happy that we are impacting lives. Now, for some of you that are also not aware, Express is the talking brand in the country at the moment, using Nigeria as a case study. For instance, if you are having challenges with your IELTS, you know what we have been doing when it comes to IELTS. So we have come to realize that IELTS is not a test of knowledge, but skills. It's not a test of your intelligence, but skills. When I communicate, I'm not trying to prove to you that I speak the best of English. So the thing is, when it comes to IELTS, nobody's expecting you to speak the best of English. All that really matters is follow the skills and you will get your bounce score. So we have been helping people to get their bounce scores from various parts. Some of our clients have gotten to their country of choice, and it's not by our doing, but we are happy that we are being used as a vessel to help others. And quickly, for those of you that may not also be aware, because of the challenges with job application, the stress and the difficulty, the unfortunate messages and so on and so forth, the platform is also trying to help in that line. If you supply us all your details, we try our best to help you to do the job application while you sit back, relax, and follow us while we do the journey together. God helping us, we'll be getting countless successful stories. And we don't just stop there. Before you go ahead to go for that interview, which the brand has successfully helped you to secure, we'll also do a pre-interview meeting with you. If your facility is going to be on a Zoom meeting, on a team meeting, on whichever app they are going to use, we're going to integrate you with that, keep you informed, prepare you for the interview. So after preparing you, you are sure to do well by God's grace. We give you our best. All you need to do is go there and excel. By the time you come back with your testimony, it will also help others. Now, I understand so many of you are new to the brand, because I believe you may be seeing this video within or outside the country. Whichever area you happen to come across the video, one thing is certain: we are here to help you as a team. We also believe that some of you are going to be having challenges with how do you prepare for interviews? How do you prepare for these hospitals when you don't even know their patterns? So we have created a community on Telegram where we post past questions from various hospitals. Now, why are we doing this? We are doing this because of the so-called red list. We understand that many of you are anxious to relocate abroad, but because of one reason or the other, things are not working. And some of you have struggled, done all you need to do. Now you have even been scheduled for interview. You don't know how to prepare for this interview. And we said, okay, what if for those that have done it before, they come and share their experience by sharing past questions on that platform? Any interview you encounter, you share past questions. It will really go a long way to guide others, won't it? Of course. Yes, it will. So because it will, we have created that platform. Currently, the platform is still growing. So if anybody has finished his or her interview, we try to get their past questions, post it on that group, so that when next you are writing your own, it will be swift, safe, and easy. So we are also appealing to you. It's not just enough to take, you must be willing to give. So if you have finished your interview as well, you have gotten your offer, or before you even get your offer, you have to post your interview question on the group. It will go a long way in helping others. Even without helping others, it can help you yourself, because you can interview for a particular job role in a particular trust or in a particular hospital or in a particular organization internationally. And let's say you were unable to secure the success you want, and the same hospital advertised again. Those questions you have gone through before will go a long way to giving you directives on how best to prepare as an individual. So that's basically it on that. So I have got some questions on my table, which I will try and run through, and I also strive to provide the prompt answers as it comes in. Now, somebody asked and said, Express, how do we get ready for opportunities when it comes to the international market? How do we get ready for opportunities? Now, the thing is, when it comes to getting ready for opportunity, you have to be what? Prepared. You have to be prepared. So there's a popular saying which says that luck is when preparedness and when you are ready meet together. So you cannot expect to be lucky when you are not prepared for opportunity. So you have to be prepared for opportunity so that when it comes, you are not going to be rubbing your head and saying, "Hi, I wish I was ready for this. Hi, I wish I was ready for this." So that is basically it. And when it comes to readiness, the number one item that you should have on your list, if you're on this platform, if you are seeing my face anywhere, is to get your international passport. If you are in Nigeria, have your international passport. If you are in Ghana, have your international passport. India, have your international passport. Whichever country you are in, have your international passport. Why is that? Your international passport is your first selling point. Is the first item that they are going to recognize you with, that you are truly an individual born and brought up for a given country, that you are recognized as a citizen of that country. So you should have your international passport. Save for it, plan for it, and then you can get it. So if you don't have it now, don't wait for the fire brigade approach, where when opportunity now comes out, they say, "Oh, they are recruiting driver today." That's when you start running to go and get your international passport. Remember, luck is when readiness meets with what? Opportunity. So if you are not prepared, opportunity comes, it is gone. So you have to get the relevant item to keep you prepared. Now, another thing too is you have to be conscious of the relevant exams that are meant to help your journey. So it's not just enough to say that, "Oh, I'm going to relocate abroad tomorrow. I'm going to do this today." But do you know what is expected of you? Do you know what is expected of you? If it's IELTS you need to write, you will know that, oh, I need to prepare for IELTS. If it's TOEFL you need to write, I need to prepare for TOEFL. If it is OET you need to write, whichever exam you need to write, you have to prepare your mind and say, okay, this is what is expected of me. You get the relevant materials and then begin your preparation. It is part of getting ready for opportunity. And then another thing too is you must prepare to save. It is inevitable. Although we are coming in as a brand to help your journey, to provide you with that necessary funds to help you to get it right, will help you with the resources you need. But by and large, you must save for your process. Why am I saying this? There are some of you that are currently, you've done your internship, some of you are on your internship journey, some of you have completed your internship, some of you are permanent staff, and so on and so forth. In that very hospital where you are working, begin to save. Begin to save. It matters a lot. If you don't want to save in your current currency because of the devaluation in various currencies in Africa, you should be able to plan ahead and say, okay, why don't I save in USDT? Why don't I save in pounds? Why don't I save in any other currency? And this is possible. This is very, very possible if you know how to plan ahead. So that is it for that. So another thing too is when you get your savings right, you will be able to know that half of the problem is solved. So somebody is also asking, what are the best way to relocate in the legit means? Yes, this is a very wonderful question. So when it comes to relocating in a legit manner, because what we encourage is relocate in a legit manner. We don't want you to run to another country and go and be seeking for asylum. Enter like a king, which you are. We don't want you to go and be crossing the desert or crossing the Atlantic Ocean because you want to relocate to another mainland. No, there is no country that there is gold falling from the sky. Every country has their own challenges. So you want to relocate in a legit manner. So there are so many ways you can relocate in a legit manner based on your calling. So number one would be relocating based on your profession. If you are a nurse, follow the nursing route. I don't want to be talking about what has been spoken about. If you are a doctor, follow your path. There are some of you can relocate as a healthcare assistant, which is trending everywhere now. UK opened the door for everybody. Then from UK, you are hearing about Canada. From Canada, Australia is trending now. But some of you will be ignoring it now until everybody now knows about it. Everybody are running after it. By the time everybody are running after it, the whole thing gets saturated. And when you apply, you will now be submitting thousands of applications before you can even get one offer. So why don't you seize opportunity while it is still fresh? So that's basically it on that. You can also relocate for your study, which Mr. Modi has already buttressed. So I won't be going further to talk about that. So some of you are also asking, this one said, please compare master versus work, pros and cons. Okay, what I can just tell you is that masters is sometimes very, very fast when you want to relocate abroad, because just as Mr. Modi emphasized that these people are here, are happy that you are paying that pounds or you are paying that dollar to come and study in their country. It's money, of course, they're going to make money. So you are going to benefit in that you will be able to work in their country, you'll be able to get that degree that you want. So master is faster sometimes over work, but by and large, work has the advantage that when you are working, you are getting the money into your pocket. Most of the restrictions are limited. So you have freedom to bring your family. So because of that, work usually have advantage. But you should know that it is not all courses that you can just move into the UK and start working or go into the US and start working. That is why some people crosses the Libya route. Because some of you that are professionals here, you will be wondering, why are people crossing the Libya route when they can just follow this, follow that? Not all courses are recognized, actually, in the UK, if you are coming from Africa, or in the US, if you are coming from Asia. So whichever way, recognize the courses that are bound to favor you. Even as you are, as young as you are now, when you are advising your younger ones, let them go for their choice, yes. But if they are passionate about relocating abroad, let them choose the right course so that they will not finish the course, then they will not begin to say, oh, nobody told them this on time. So that is also very, very important. So also, when you are doing, when you relocate for the purpose of work, you are not going to be paying fee. That's also another advantage. Another person said, can I survive with a healthcare assistant work in the UK as a nurse? Of course. So this shouldn't be a question. What I always ask people that ask this type of question is, ask yourself, the people that are coming for their masters, these people are bound to pay fee as high as £20,000, sometimes £15,000, sometimes £10,000, and so on and so forth. How do they get their fund to pay the money? Some of them get sponsored back home, yes, but there are some that are still able to raise this money while working as healthcare assistants in the UK. But they make this money, they survive themselves and still pay their fee. How about you? Your own is you are just coming as a healthcare assistant. You are not carrying anybody's body. So how will you not survive? So you should be the best person to answer that question. Okay, let me get the next question. The next question said, can I get offer with pregnancy? Of course. So the thing is, every work usually have what they call this work occupational guide that guide most professionals, whether in the UK, US, and so on and so forth. So it is against the work ethics for you to deny people of a particular job role because of pregnancy. But when you are applying for your jobs, you don't have to state that you are pregnant. So also, just as Stella stated, you don't have to state irrelevant details such as your age, your date of birth, and so on and so forth. If you are part of the Express TV, CV and supporting information masterclass, I believe you will be able to get all those relevant details because we are putting together those classes to help your journey, and the classes keep coming up. So if by chance you don't know how to structure your CV, you want somebody to take you by the hand and guide you how it's to be done, you can register for Express CV and supporting information masterclass so that we will be able to dish out those information that you need, because information gives you power. Frankly speaking, your recruiter are not going to see your face. If you like, be the best graduate student. If you like, be exceptional in communication. If you don't put it down appropriately, nobody is going to call you for interview. So your CV, as we usually say, it is the first pointer that give the recruiter a hint about you. Then when they now call you for interview, it means that they want to hear from you directly that what they've seen is the indirect correlation with what you can offer. So you will now be there to prove it. So that's basically it. So if you have you are pregnant, of course you can relocate abroad. But every country have their own rules. So you want to know about those, because some country, when you relocate as a pregnant lady or woman, they may not be able to give you that maternity leave. Some will give you the maternity leave, but they will not be able to pay you for it. So please take note of that. You have to know the policy of the trust you are working with. So the time you usually will break the news that you are pregnant will be after the interview stage, when they are doing your occupational check. So when you are doing your occupational check, they will ask you, relevant questions, then you'll be able to review and let them know that currently you are pregnant. Now, somebody is also asking, Express, when it comes to relocating with your family, what should we do? Okay, so the thing is, when you are relocating abroad with your family, what we usually recommend is whoever gets the offer first should relocate first. So there is no vision or ambition that says that, oh, if one relocate before the other, they will give him scholarship. Why are we saying this? Is to minimize stress. We don't want a situation whereby your wife that is going to go and be writing exam. If you are a daughter, she will be going to write PLAB 1, PLAB 2 in the UK, and you want to follow her at the same time, you are not going to be doing her any favor. It's going to cause distraction. If, for instance, you are a nurse, you are coming to write OSCE, and the man wants to follow you immediately, of course, you are going to be causing distraction. So if you give this lady or your wife the opportunity to go first, she will be able to survey and even plan and tell you that these are some of the areas you can gather some more skills so that by the time you relocate, you'll be much more useful to us as a family. So you know your partner, you know what he or she can do. I think the fear is some of you are thinking that, oh, if this woman relocate before me, he may have a change of heart. You know that woman. If it's in that case, follow your wife. So follow your wife if it's in that case. But otherwise, one person should relocate first. Now, there are also cases where you have to relocate with your family. You already heard Mr. Modi saying it of Express Travel Abroad platform, that if you are going to relocate with your family, make sure you get your accommodation right. Don't come to UK or US or Canada and be causing nuisance to the streets. You are coming for your masters, you don't have accommodation. He say no, because you are not going to like yourself. Even if you love your wife, you are not going to enjoy it. So why put yourself through unnecessary stress? So please take note of that. Very, very important. Somebody is asking, relocating abroad, dependent versus independent, which is the best? Okay, I think I get where your idea is coming from, because there are some persons that they get offer, they are in the nursing profession, some are medical doctors, and their wife also or their husband is also in the same field with them. So that one want to also get a COS so that two of you now can get COS. So the thing is, you must first of all know what COS is before you can be struggling to get the COS. COS simply means certificate of sponsorship. Certificate of sponsorship. And it comes with its own limitation and restriction. So if your husband, your hubby, your popori has gotten an offer, please and please, if you are in a profession, all you need to do is get the relevant exams right. If you need to write IELTS or skills, PLAB, or whichever one, write them. If you need to register for HCPC, register. But don't begin to seek for COS. Why? Because you getting COS will put you at a huge disadvantage, a big limitation. You will be restricted in your work hour. You have to commit to a particular trust and so on and so forth. But being under the dependency of your partner gives you an advantage to work anywhere you want. You can even start business. You can be doing as many business as you want. You can be doing two jobs at the same time. Limitation is reduced to the barest minimum. So if you have that boyfriend of yours now, that both of you are planning together and you love each other, you want to do the needful, go ahead and do the needful. If one person has secured the COS, move with that person under their dependence. Move with that person under their dependence and let the flow just continue. Instead of both of you struggling to get COS and both of you becoming enslaved. Let me use that word, pardon. So instead of you following the COS pattern, both of you, One can just use the COS, while the other one is free, a free man. So that's basically it about that. Now, another question is, I'm finding it hard to get a job. Sir, after passing my IELTS and CBT, what should I do? Okay, so the thing is, one thing we keep saying, informations are everywhere, but the people that need those information prefer to go after the one that will not help them. Some people would rather use their data for BB Niger than to watch YouTube videos that can help them. They will see those YouTubers and say, oh, everybody wants to be a YouTuber now. Everybody wants to be a YouTuber now. But they don't know that those are the ones that will help them. There are YouTube videos already being done on the way to go about this. If you have the funds, you have gotten everything, you are not getting a job, you have the funds, you can take advantage of relocating to write the relevant exam. So I will not be buttressing that. I think Stella has done a video on that on the Express channel on the alternative to the UK red list. The step-by-step process has been broken down for you. Go ahead and watch those videos. It will go a long way in helping you. So that's basically for that. Some of you, okay, let me get to the next question. Oh, sir, which IELTS exam do you need for your relocation? Okay, so the thing is, we have done videos on this on YouTube already. There's a video, if you check the YouTube channel now, that talks about the various types of IELTS. So we have two basic IELTS, the general and the academic IELTS. Express as a platform will teach you when it comes to succeeding in IELTS. We'll be helping quite a lot, thousands now. We are counting down to millions someday. God will help us, it will be possible. So once you have determined that it's IELTS you want to write, there is academic and there's general IELTS. The general IELTS usually is for those below degree level. The academic IELTS is usually for those in the degree level and those that want to work. So I cannot be emphasizing that now when we have already done a video on it. Otherwise, this meeting is going to be taking too long. So try and find out which type of IELTS you need. And Express as a platform has done a video on that, and that can go a long way to helping you. Now, somebody is asking, he said, sir, work experience and NYSC, how compulsory are these when it comes to relocation? So the thing is, so long you have gotten a basic internship experience, that can be enough for you. So why are you going to get all the work experience in the whole world if by the time you relocate, you are going to start afresh or you are going to start from the beginning? Like for nurses, most nurses relocating abroad, whether they were matron before in their previous place of work, are going to start as a band 5. Only a few end up getting band 6 from scratch. So why are you going to waste all the time when you know that eventually when you relocate, you are going to start from band 5? Similarly, for the doctors as well. So if you have the opportunity and you want to take advantage of it, why don't you do it in the appropriate way? If you don't have experience, it does not do you anything. Your own is go for interview. There are facilities that are giving you the opportunity to say, okay, irrespective of what you know or what you have, irrespective of the knowledge you have, we can recruit you. So why not take advantage of those opportunities? So that's basically it. NYSC is only compulsory for those who are in the country at the moment. NYSC, for those of you that don't know, is a National Youth Service Corps, and it's basically for those in Nigeria. So if every country have what they are doing that is similar to NYSC, but it's not as if because you do NYSC, that's what they are going to use to judge you if you are going to work in UK, US, or Canada. Most of those countries don't even know so much about your NYSC unless you are the one telling them about it. So that does not really matter so much. So we are going to give the opportunity now for the community to ask their questions. We are still here and we'll try and answer some of those questions. So I just went through the platform and I was able to jot down those questions. So very quickly, somebody was asking, should I tell my employer that I am HIV positive? My dear, it's not necessary at your application phase, but by the time you have gotten the job, you are doing occupational check, you can let them know that you are HIV positive. And it's not a big deal. Being HIV positive is not a big deal. They are going to position you in the best possible place to work, and then you will also still enjoy your work. It's best you tell them so that not when you now get to the workplace, they will not come and realize that you were making it up or you were lying to them. Once again, my name is Otaigbe, and I'm proud to be a member of this platform. Let your question comes in now. I will hand over the mic to Stella, who is going to moderate everything. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Ehis. Thank you so much. I can see we've really learned a lot from this section. In fact, if there's anything we've not taken anything throughout, I feel like this particular time we've taken a lot of things. So somebody asked a question on the group, and that was what's her name? She said, that she has checked on some Google and has checked on so many YouTube videos, and then she's not sure which IELTS she's supposed to write for Australia. And so I have recently, that was today, I also had to go online to search. Somehow, I don't know how both of us to search on the same thing. And then I found out that if you are traveling for any professional registration or study, you are taking your IELTS academic. And they said that, especially because you are doing a professional registration, your body requires a professional registration. So you are using IELTS academic. But if you are going for their visa process, they're not really so concerned about whether you take academic or general. But if you know you have a registration ongoing, like you have to register, like all these nurses, doctors, engineers, and all that, you guys have to take exam, get a license. It's IELTS academic that you need to write. And you can check for further info on IELTSIDP.com. When you go there, just search for what type of IELTS do I need to write for Australia? And when you search there, you will see this answer that I just gave you. And that was where I found my answer. Also, somebody was asking me, the previous video we did, I know many people were saying that should I go ahead and write my general, should I go ahead and change? So from this information that we just found out about, from this information that I found out today, they said that you do not need, like if you're applying for the visa, they don't care whether you're applying for academic or you're applying for general. Do you understand? And since you're applying for what's the name, carer pathway, if you're applying for carer pathway assessment, during your assessment process, you are not registering with anybody. You're only doing assessment to compare your skills. This is for Australia now I'm talking about. You're only like comparing your skills. So because you're comparing your skills, you're not doing any registration with anybody, you're not writing any exams or anything. So you're only needing the IELTS when you want to apply for visa. And so they don't care if it's IELTS general or IELTS academic. So because I just applying for visa with IELTS, this is to just this to cover up for what I said, or to contradict or to explain, because in the video I said general, but I've gone to do further research and they said when you're applying for their visa, they're not concerned whether it's general or academic. So if you want to put that Australia pathway and you already have IELTS academic, you don't need to go ahead to write IELTS general. You just need to continue what you are doing, apply with the IELTS you have, and you will be fine with it. Now, somebody is asking me that, oh, thank you, Stella, for the response. You're welcome. Somebody was raising their hand and they wanted to talk. Is that person, if you know you still want to talk, I saw you raising your hand and you are still here, you can put up your hand back and I will let you have the mic to speak before we round up. And then somebody also asked a question like, is it true that IELTS exam is now compulsory for physiotherapists? Well, we saw this on their website now, that IELTS is now compulsory for physiotherapists. Even I was asking, it's not about for, it's not basically just a physiotherapy thing. I think it's a HCPC thing. It's not, it's an HCPC thing now. Like they brought out, I think they changed management. The person in charge of HCPC, they changed power changed hands or something like that. And then they decided to say that you will need to write IELTS for you to do HCPC registration. And unfortunately, physiotherapist falls under HCPC. So it automatically means that you will need to write that exam. So, but I think it's going to come into effect. Is it September or so? I stand to be corrected, but I know it's later this year. It's not like an immediate effect thing. It's later towards the end part of. Do you have?
Yeah. They said it should be around September. So
Yes.
that should be around September. So if you, as we said before, if you are going to prepare for your IELTS and you are struggling to get your required band score, you can join the Express family. Once you join the Express family, we do our bit to make sure that you are well prepared for it. We are just here to help as many professionals as possible, especially for those still in the developing country that really want to explore the shore of outside the country. So the team is going to prepare you, intensive preparation, and you're going to get your required band score. So don't be scared that they are adding IELTS to the whole thing. But that's what we always say: do everything on time, because if you don't do it on time, so many things are going to keep coming up to make the whole process a lot more stringent. So take advantage of opportunity on time, and you may be able to miss some of those challenges that will come in the future. All right. Thank you so much.
So someone also asks, please, Stella, can someone who has paid for the last step on the NMC registration as a registered nurse change to mental health nurse? If you have started your process as a registered nurse, well, so many people these days are not swapping to mental health nurse, but you can still do a mental health nurse registration. You don't necessarily need to go and cancel that other one that you have done. As a UK, if you're ready, I believe this person wants to go to the UK. If you decide to go to the UK as a nurse, you can be a registered general nurse and also start your registration for mental health nurse. So you don't necessarily, so many people are going to go and cancel that one because they feel like you cannot be both. You can be both. So since you've done your general, you can go ahead and start a registration for mental health nurse. So you can do that one. You must not necessarily need to go and cancel the previous one that you have done. Then someone say, can you loan to Canada? So yes, we have loan that we give to those that are traveling international, regardless of where you're coming from, but there are criteria to meet this loan. So if you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to our email address. I'm going to be typing our email address here on the write-up so that you can send a message to our email address so that we'll get in touch with you. I will get your details. I've just sent our email address now, so you can put it there, and just in case you need it, so that's fine. For those on YouTube, it's expressinfo.loan@gmail.com, expressinfo.loan@gmail.com, so you can send a message there. Then the next question is, thank you for this opportunity. I would like to know the possibly timeline for Nova Scotia. I don't really understand this question you're asking about possibly timeline. Could explain further. Please, what about Australia? Can you guys help get? Yes, we applied to different countries. So recently we started doing research on Australia and more on Canada. So yes, we can apply to Australia for jobs for you because we are doing express job application. So if you need, you can try. But it doesn't mean that we are getting you the job. What we are doing is to use our experience with job pathways and present your application in a way that will favor you. And we've had loads of testimonies. So please share the link. I've shared the link to you. Please, is there anything that can be done about those of us that say applying for a job? Our test of competence will expire in 2 months. What do we do even after paying for the application? Okay. So if your test of competence is expired. The truth is that even if you get job today, before you get your serious and do all your process and even come to the UK to write your exam, if you are a nurse, it's still going to exceed that sum. So it automatically means that you have to write another CBT. You are not going to do another registration process, but you are going to write another CBT. But what you have to do is you have to wait. When it gets expired, then you will message NMC and NMC will give you a go ahead to prepare for another CBT. And that's what is going to happen. So sorry about the delay. It's just how it is these days. Please, Mr. Otaibe, I need response. Okay, we have responded to your question, Rosemary. Please, what's the best pathway for Canada as a nurse? It depends on you, which province you want to go to, and depends on what you want. I think the most popular one now is Ontario and British, not British, Alberta. Many people are using those pathways more. There's still British Columbia, though, especially the pathway that makes you overcome NNAS pathway. So if you can do that one is going to be good. What do you suggest? Do you suggest pairing with somebody else, totally strange as a dependent? My brother and sister, do you? It's not me and you that will talk about that one on the space. Thank you. Please, sir, I want to know if your team help with job. Yes, we do. Yes, aside from UK, we do help you with job applications. We do. Yes, we do. Please, is it aside from UK, we do also help with job application? Yeah. Please, is it true that the IELTS exam? Yes, I've answered that question. Please, Stella, is SPS going to help us with please, Stella, please, can someone who has paid for the last, okay, I've answered that already. Please, is Stella, is SPS going to help us get? We are not getting jobs from you. I'm repeating it again. We are helping you to apply for the jobs. It's up to the company to give you grant the interview, but we have testimonies of interviews because we've understood the algorithm and we are trying to use the algorithm to help people. It doesn't mean that we are the one granting you the interview. What is getting job in Ireland like? Is it better than the UK since ISS is now compulsory for HCPC registration? Please clarify the process of getting a job as a physiotherapist in the Republic of Ireland. So registration with Ireland, we're going to invite somebody to talk about this on space so that I'm not going to be talking
Yes.
out of my limited knowledge.
Sorry,
We
Stella.
have,
Yeah,
yeah,
sorry to intrude. For that question, we're going to bring somebody who is in line with that profession
yes,
from Ireland. So he's going to dish it out from raw as he can get. So
yes.
just follow the channel, as we said before. Subscribe to the channel. When all those updates are popping up, it will be able to reflect on your DM. So subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell. It doesn't cost you anything to do those. It's going to help you. It relieves you stress. Why we say all these things now is because if somebody has passed through a particular pothole before, and you are now coming to pass through that same pothole, if you know the skill the person used in navigating through that pothole, all you need to do is to jump over it. But if you don't know, you are still going to pass through the same process. So why not take advantage of following knowledge rather than letting experience to be the only judge? So that's basically it. So watch out for that. We're going to invite somebody to the space, and he will be dishing it out as it relates to that profession. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that, Mr. Ehis. So someone say, how do you contact? I just dropped my phone number there, so you can contact. Please don't. Anyway, I will always there to respond to you. I dropped my phone number, so you can contact, and then we'll send you that you will get an automated message anyway once you contact. So you follow the steps of the automated message, or you wait and give you a response in regards to the job application process. Now, please, for ABATA and other purposes that require IELTS, what is the pathway like after passing the IELTS? We're going to do a video on that to explain the pathway for you so you will understand the pathway very well. There's so many other videos on YouTube, to be fair, that explain ABATA. I think ABATA is one of the most common, but we'll also do another video to explain so that everything will be much clarified and it will be a practical video. It's not just going to be talk, to be more practical. So you guys will be able to understand much better about the topic. So that's it for today. I'm not seeing anyone ask so much questions on study abroad, and I don't want to go abroad, go study. Oh, now you try go. That's the fast. All this thing that you're stressing yourself, that's the fastest way to travel to abroad, use to Canada to study. You can from there quickly switch to a work visa. Hope you are aware ahead. So I know it's expensive, but it's one of the surest way, like surest. You don't even need to stay home and be waiting for one miracle employer like that. It's one of the very, very quick way for you.
And just before we call it a wrap, I think I should also quickly bring this to your notice. Recently they were talking about care assistant, and they were talking about if you are working in the UK for a particular period of time, you don't need to write IELTS. If you are working in some country like Jamaica, some countries that are recognized as English-speaking country, you don't need to write IELTS. So those have been a trend for quite some time. You will realize now that Jamaica trend has now subsided. So why has Jamaica trend subsided? Simply because the healthcare assistant pathway, those who took advantage of it are taking advantage of it full time. They are taking advantage of it full time. So if you see any opportunity, grab it. Because as it stands now, if you relocated as a healthcare assistant in the UK, after 1 year working with the NHS or working in the healthcare sector, you can provide a letter that proves that you can communicate in English, and your ward manager can actually provide you with this letter. So that can be used as a waiver for you for NFC registration. So IELTS will be like a second fiddle. So even if you are meant to write IELTS, you don't need to get that high bound score that has been preventing you. So you see, those who took advantage of the healthcare assistant pathway are those that will convert tomorrow to become the nurse. Why you that say that healthcare assistant pathway na shit then they clean, you will still be struggling to write IELTS. So you see, so it's all about taking advantage of opportunities and asking questions instead of somebody to just be the one giving you all the information and telling you that this can't work, this doesn't work, this is stress, this is suffer. Always ask a second opinion. This, what do you think about it? So it can go a long way in helping you. I just say I should chip that in quickly. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you about that. Mr. Monday, I don't know if you are here. There's a question for you. Please,
Yes,
how
I'm here.
much is the estimate to study abroad, Canada processing, and can express loans for this rates? Please answer the first two. I'll answer the one of the express. I believe you can also see the question. How much is the estimate to study abroad, the Canada processing for it, and all that? Please, sir, if you are here, respond. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I don't know if Mr. Modi is online, but if he's online, the thing is, when it comes to about relocation,
I just heard him talk.
yeah, I heard him as well, but I don't know what's happening to his mind. Mr. Modi, can you hear us? Yeah, I think he may be having some interruption. So when it comes to fund for relocating abroad, it's not something you just gather everything. Anything can happen. Currently, we are hearing that a few months ago, I think one pound was equivalent to about 700 or 800
money
naira. So as you can see now, things has changed. So it's skyrocketing anyhow. The naira is behaving anyhow. It's doing free flow. So if it's so, you cannot really predict how much you are going to need. But what I can tell you is when you start the process, the first thing is to start. When you start the process, the vibes to be able to get all the other things done will be there. But you have to push the start button before you'll be able to do the others. Now
Can anyone hear me?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
yeah.
Mr. Mode, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. If you are studying abroad, for instance, you want to study at UK or Canada. Let's use UK as an example. If you are studying in UK, I cannot just tell you it's £20,000. It's depending on the school and depending on the country. In the sense that, for example, if you are studying in the University of Harvard, then if your school fees is £22,000, you are going to add your living expenses because UK have their living expenses amount. You are going to add it to that school fees. So you will not add it together. That will give you the total amount of your study package. So I cannot just say it's 50,000 pounds or 20,000 pounds. It's depending on the country and depending on the school. And for example, you manage to pay 5,000 pounds from that school fees. From that
Mr.
school
Monte,
fees
they
now.
want you to use Canada as example.
Okay, Canada. Everybody wants to jackpot to Canada. Okay. If you are going to Canada, the same thing to Canada. If you want to study in Canada, for instance, your school fees is 8,000 Canada dollar, and you manage to pay 2,000 Canada dollar out of that your school fees. You say it's many 6,000 Canada dollar. So you had your living expenses to that 6,000 Canada dollar. That money should be on your POF. That's what they call proof of funds. So that's what you use to apply for your visa. So there is no specific amount. It's depending on that particular school you apply to. For instance, if I apply to Mr. A University and they say we should pay £10,000, and you apply for Mr. B University and you have to pay £15,000, know that your own your expenses will be bigger than my own. So the thing is that it's depending on the school and the country. But the thing is that your living expenses for Canada is the same thing, just that the school fees is different. Hope I answered your question.
Hope we answered your question now. Like we said, it depends on the school. It depends on the school. Some school fees are lesser, some school fees are more. If you join our study group, we are going to be posting also scholarships. We are going to be posting scholarships. We are going to be posting, what's the name? We're going to be posting scholarships. We're going to be posting schools that you can apply, cheap schools you can apply. Apart from even depending on the school, it depends on the course. The course you are going to study. Some course fee is higher than some course fee. That one too is there too. Yes, so that one's also there. And it also depends on your living expenses. So there's no fixed amount. There's no fixed amount. And remember, what you are paying is a deposit fee. When you pay a deposit fee, the remaining money that you pay, see, to tell you the truth, they know they work out the money. No, I speak am for pidgin. They know they work out the money wey they use travel before they travel. If you get wetin I talk. So it depends on the school, like I said again, and it depends on the course. So, and there's also what they call proof of funds too. And you all know how proof of fund is. If you don't know how proof of fund is, you can email us and tell us you are ready to start and we'll guide you through the process of study abroad. So that's all we can say on this space. Does Express give loan? I've seen that question up to 10 times. Express does not give loan to students. No, we don't give loans. Maybe in the future we will, but we don't at the moment. We don't give loan to students because when the students enter the studentship, it's now become hard to get the money back from the studentship. We've had experience with it, and for now we've stopped it. Like they say, now one person with a closed door for other people. So for now, we don't give loan to students because an experience is enough to tell us we can't give loan to students for now. Okay. And then the last question is not nursing assistant. Yes, there's still nursing assistant job. Can the nurse show it? Please, if you're applying for doctor work, not be doctor you go show. If you're applying for doctor, yes, you put doctor work. If you apply for healthcare assistant, you put healthcare assistant work. that you just use your role to relate with it. If you apply for healthcare assistant, you are putting nurse. Don't you think you are too overqualified for that role? You've got to bring yourself down a bit to suit and write your healthcare assistant. So please, if you apply for a healthcare assistant job, put your CV to be that of a healthcare assistant. But you can put that you can put your certificate of nursing and also put that you've had experience in bedside and everything. You get, but try to make your experience relate so that at least they will give you, instead of them to give you a lower level of healthcare assistant, you get a higher level of healthcare assistant. What's the last question? Japa, God help us. The country is never. It's only God that will help us. The economy is not very good. It's true. Only God will help us on this Japa economy. Please. I know Naira is falling. If you don't get anything from today, get the fact that should not save your money in Naira anymore. It's either you're putting your money probably in investments or you're putting your money in dollars. That's the best
my
way.
question. Is Abata pathway still open for nurses?
I'm getting there. I will answer it step by step. I didn't see it. I'm sorry. Okay. So Japa economy is never, so it save your money in and yes, Abata pathway is still open for nurses. I believe I've answered your question. It's still open for nurses, so yes, it is. And please, I would like to migrate to Canada as a nurse. What model we have? We've talked about this. I don't know if you joined us late. Maybe you can listen to it from the beginning. I applied for Nova Scotia but wasn't able to pay. We help you to pay for your Nova Scotia application. So if you want to pay, you can chat us up or chat the way you got the link from, or I've put my number several times on the comment section. You can reach out on that. How legit is it? How legit is what? Legit for us to pay. We are doing a live section there to tell you that, to show you about the process. Okay, how legit is Nova Scotia is a province now in Canada. Definitely, their body is legit. It's just the availability of job that's the main issue. So that's why we are saying explore other options, if you can, or if you can wait, while there's, because it's a new thing. They started it. It's not May. It's barely up to 4 months or 3 months that the body itself started the registration. So the body that started the registration, they need people, like they will also need to let them know in the international recruitment now that people can start taking international people, and it seems that communication has not been done very well. So that is it. Open a dollar account. The next person asking that question, how do you save your money in Naira and pounds? Open a dollar account and make sure that the money that you are putting in your Naira is what you need for your basic needs. The rest of the money, if you are intending to jackpot, be saving your money in dollars. Or if you are intending to go abroad, I like to use it in the multi way, go abroad. Please, I have passed my IELTS and CBT. Help me get a job in UK. You can use our job application services. We can only try for you. That's all we can do. All right. Thank you guys so much for today. I believe that's all. I believe that's all that we have. Yes. That question that you asked about yes, you can try Ontario. That last question, if Alberta is, I think it's more of BSc nurses. You can try Ontario. Ontario is one that is open to others. You know what? Just stay tuned to our channel, the Express channel, Express Med Global Services. If you haven't subscribed, please go and subscribe. I know we are on, what are they calling it? We are on Zoom now. We are not on YouTube. But this video is actually live on YouTube. Please let us go and subscribe there. I have a video I'm going to be dropping soon on these pathways, and it's going to touch all these questions that you're asking, and you get your answers to all these questions. Thank you, everybody. All your questions now, please send it to the YouTube. The way between
Okay.
UKPI and okay, yeah, Mr. Modi, let's say something.
Okay, I just want to pass a short advice. The thing is that if you want to jackpot, if anybody wants to travel, you just have to start it step by step. If you are passing through study one, you don't need to wait for the section to call before you start applying for admission. For instance, if you want to apply, if you want to travel like next year, December next or September section next year, all you need to do now, just send us a DM and tell us, I want to apply for admission for against September next year. So you can pay your money. If you can deposit, because we have our deposit rate, you can deposit. We start looking for a school for you, a school that is stable for you, a school that you will not have stress paying the deposit or you not have stress paying the school fees. So that by then, before September, you can be able to get that something like you have a goal, you already have a dream that by September next year, I'm traveling. You understand? So you just have to plant. Like if you don't plant a crop now, you will not harvest it like tomorrow. So you just have to do something. If for you to pay for the deposit, so that we can be applying for schools for you, scholarship between now and that September. So when September comes, you know that okay, I already have something. I already have a dream by September. I'll be traveling out. So that was it. So you don't just don't think that you will just rush into it like I'm traveling by January, I should start applying by September. It does not work that way because to get money now for Nigeria, I know say not easy. Thank you very much.
What's the name of the section?
Thank you, Mr. Monday. Thank you so much for that. Someone is even already telling you thank you. Like we told you that we are always concerned about you. So as you can see, we've said it. We can even just to start with the deposits, like because you pay a very, very minimal amount of us to start the application. You even tell you about scholarships that you can apply to help you. We will help you with schools that you don't even need to pay that much money. And so you start planning ahead of time, just like Mr. Monday have said. So if you know that you want to do something, you want to build house today, it's not that day you want the house that you build it. You have to start from somewhere. 50 naira today, 10 kobo tomorrow. Before you know it, to become something that is very big. You yourself, you'll be asking, how was I able to achieve this? You will say it is God, but we know it is God and what? Perfect planning, sense, wisdom, and also God by our side. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for this video. And then I'll see you all in our next video and our next section. Thank you all. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.